Crazy seeing you guys here. You enjoying it? If you like the channel, hit that subscribe button. Give me a like. Do something, please. Anything. I think it was like 20% of the people who watch my videos are actually subscribed. But let's get into the video. So I bought this car, 2017. I'm going to take off my glasses here because it looks like they're kind of glary. But I ended up buying a tune. Hated it. Came across AJP Turbo. Loved his tune. And said, you know what? I got an intake. I got catless downpipes. I got an E30 tune. Let's send it at that drag strip. The current record for the car was an 1154 by Mike Kraus. I did not have that in my mind at all in the beginning. But I was like, you know what? My local car group's having a drag strip day. Let's go down and see what she'll do. So my very first run was a 1208, which like blew my mind that I had gotten so close to the 11s. And I didn't have an interior in the car. Like I said, I had an intake, catless downpipes, and an E30 tune. And my buddy was like, you got to get an 11. So we jacked the car up and took the exhaust off. And then we got this run. So first run out, got an 1198 at 113, gap to GTO, and I'm feeling really good about myself. I'd never expected to go that quick, and the car's just always been kind of I don't know if factory freak is a good term for it, but Brad had her tuned right. Like I said, it was an E30 tune. I think I was running like 15 pounds. It was super conservative, and that was a hot day. That was like 4,300 DA. So next outing, I decide, let's try some race fuel. So I looked high and low and found one that I liked. I ended up running C20. It was like 105 octane unleaded. And let me just show you. She did pretty good. So with no interior, no exhaust, C20, 105 octane race fuel, and an intake, catless downpipes, ran an 1191. It was insane for the time. I loved the car, and I was ready to drop some money. So we basically went from intake, catless downpipes to we ended up adding gearhead intercooler, which had just came out, waited forever for that, and the J2 intake, which was like at the time the newest, latest, greatest intake. It was a true dual intake, the first one that had been made for the longest time, and Anthony's trans mounts. Those three mods and MST coils, and I think there was one other thing I just can't remember anymore. But ended up going to the drag strip with C20 again. We're on stock high pressure fuel pump. No methanol, no nitrous, stock turbos. And this was insane. It just really showed me the capabilities of the stock fuel system when tuned right. So we had a ton of throttle closure on shifts to keep boost bikes down so we could keep fuel pressure up. And I'll just show you right here.
Look incredible.
So when an 1176, which at the time was 2200s from the platform record. And That was no seats, no exhaust. I think I took the door panels off. I wasn't in the position to spend a ton of money, and but I had a little bit of need for speed. I will say that for sure. It was kind of interesting. So we ran 1176, and I was like, all right, I'm good. That was it for the year. This was, I want to say, 2018 now. It was the end of the year, 2018. Ran an 1176. And next year came along, and I was kind of getting ready to spend some money. So I was basically full bolt-ons, no turbos, no methanol, no nitrous, and still stock high-pressure fuel pump. And I got tired of not being able to run E30 in the cold weather because it was just draining the fuel system. So I got with Brad, and he hooked me up with, well, he didn't hook me up. I paid full retail for this, but I got an XDI 35 high-pressure fuel pump, and that was a game changer. Third gear and above, like, it just pulled like crazy. I was rolling on full bolt-on Mustang GTs, 5.0s, Coyotes, not just like 4.6s. 4.6s are just slow in general. But I was rolling on full bolt-on E85 Mustang GTs. I've got a couple videos of that on my channel if you want to check that out. But I ended up getting a drag pack, which was a NT555R 275 40/20s in the front. I didn't worry about the rears because I never was spinning the rears. I was always just spinning the fronts. But the wife wanted to go shopping in another town, do kind of a day trip. I was like, you know what? Let's go to the drag strip. And then the next day we can kind of go shopping and go see some touristy things. And met up with Clayton Ray. He's gearhead tuned. I think he just had a couple things done. Met up with him at Rogersville, Ozark Raceway Park in Rogersville. And, full interior. This is full interior. And ran pretty good. I'll show you right here. So I ran an 1175, full interior, full bolt-ons, no methanol, no nitrous, still stock turbo size, and I was impressed, honestly. I said, man, if I would have stripped it out, I would have been kind of close to that 1154. Probably really close to it, if not better. But then a buddy of mine, Ryan Spencer, came along. This was when he was still running his ATP upgraded turbos. He came along and ran an 1153, I want to say. Or maybe it was an 1150. I can't remember at the time. But 1150 is his best overall. Anyways, that was a game changer in the platform because that was the first time the record had been broken in like 5 years. And I wanted my shot at it. I didn't know if I would beat that, but I was going to give it a try. So I tin canned the car. I had the stock seats still in, no seats, no door panels. I still had the dash in. Basically anything that I could take out that wasn't going to take me 2 hours to take out was out. Like no stereo system, anything. And at this point, I'm still driving the car to and from to the drag strip. And so get to the drag strip. My buddy came along for the ride. We still had the exhaust on the car and got to the drag strip, unloaded the jack and jack stands, jacked up the car, put ice on the intake manifold. We had ice in a like garden sprayer, was spraying the intercooler and giving it the best cool down that it could, because this was during a heat wave. It was like 97 degrees out. It was 4,750 DA that day. And it was so hot that the turbo efficiency in these cars just suffers when you're maxed out and it's hot. So get the car cooled down as possibly can, got the drag pack swapped on. We took the exhaust off. I mean, it's hot. We're sweaty. We're hating life. And this was going to be my attempt. So still stock turbo size, no additional fueling or nitrous. And I'll just show you right here. So not only did I bust the ever-living heck out of my friend, I absolutely blew it away. I ran an 1138 at 118 something. I was so ecstatic. I was so excited. And I had it. I didn't expect to get it. And honestly, it was completely accidental that I got it. It was crazy to me that stock turbo size and the amount of effort that I put in, I was able to take the platform record. Now, all this being said, if you're not into the show platform, 11s are not something to brag about. But with such a limited aftermarket and how hard it is to get one of these cars to go what they do, it was impressive to me, at least. So, my buddy Andrew Bullock, who also was going very quick at the time, who's also AJP turbo tuned, he was like, "Yeah, I bought a nitrous kit." And I said, "I'm interested. Send me a link." And as soon as he sent it, I'd bought it. And so we're both installing nitrous on our cars, and he already had the Gearhead turbos at the time. And I was still stock turbo size, but I was like, man, I'm just not ready to drop that kind of money. But it spiraled really hard. We got a dry shot kit, and it was like $300, and it came with like a 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 jet. And we didn't stay that low, that long. I mean, it spiraled so fast. We were like 15, 25, 35, and the next thing you know, we're on a 50 shot. And we're just like looking at our logs, and we're like, man, the fuel pressure is great. So, an import face-off, man, I can't talk today. How are you guys doing? An import face-off comes along, and I'm like, man, it's not cold enough where I want to like full send it yet, but the car's still stripped. I want to drive it there and have some fun. And, well, let's just say I had some fun for sure. I gapped the ever living heck out of a turbo Honda Civic, and then I ran up against this GTR, and I'll show you that race here. If you're familiar with my channel, then you've probably seen this because it's probably one of my most popular races. So not only did I lose to a GTR, I rebroke the platform record on stock turbo size with a 50 shot by 1700ths. I was so happy. And I was like, I gotta save it. I gotta save it for better weather. And I was 2 runs in that day, and I was like, I drove the car here. I want to be able to drive it home. So I parked it. I did the responsible adult thing and didn't drive it anymore. So I rebroke the record with a little bit of nitrous, and I won an 1121. And then about a month goes by, and then we're like, it's gotten kind of cool. Let's go to a night drag event at the drag strip where I set the original record of 1138, which is about another hour over the import face-off drag strip. But I get there, in the first run, I line up against this Hellcat that's on a tire, and I get sauced. However, time slip 11/16, so 5 more hundredths better. And I'll show you that here.
One set of lights, 2 set of lights. Trees lit up.
So, honestly, I don't even remember that night very much, because that 11/16 didn't stand very long. We ended up going back not very long after. I can't even remember how long it was in between the times we went. I think maybe it was a week or two. And at this point, I had taken the dash out of the car. I got a little excessive, and the DA was like 600 that day. It was a daytime drag strip event and low DA. And I want to say that I wanted to go because the sun was on the drag strip, so the prep would be nice and hot compared to like the temperature going in. And for some reason, the very first run is always my best, except for the time I ran the GTR, and I ran better by like 100. But my first run is always my best. So we put the car on the tow truck and drove it down there that way because we just didn't know if it was going to last. And, well, here's my first run. Not bad. Not bad at all. 11:08 at 126.8. And I was just ecstatic. The car did everything I wanted it to. We actually ended up increasing the nitrous after that to a 75 shot. And we did a little bit better, but only in the mile per hour. I think the best mile per hour the car's ever done was that day, and it was 127.6 miles an hour in the quarter. So it was like 3 miles an hour faster than I had ever been in the quarter mile. And the car was running good until, well, car always ran well, but there was a pop at one point during the runs. And I think that's why my ringlands were cracked when we disassembled the motor. There was definitely a lean condition at one point during one of the runs because I think that we were just pushing too much through it and the fuel system couldn't keep up. And the car never really ran the same after that day, but it ran fine. Well enough for me. The car actually made, it was like 479 all-wheel horsepower without nitrous and methanol and all that stuff the next year before I went with Gen 3 gearhead turbos. And then it made 536 and 647. But that's another video on my channel. If you want to go check that out, you can find it pretty easily. But the car ran well until it didn't. It was quirky, though. It would just be idling along and it would go, pop. But I think that was because of the nitrous. But anyways, we ended up bending a rod, and that's why I'm sitting in a car with no with no motor in it and half an interior and things still missing. But we'll get there. Rebuilding it for big power, and I'll probably see you guys next season in 2021. But in the meantime, going to get it back together, going to get it data logged, get it running. I will say, however, Andrew Bullock, he's 802 show. He's the guy to beat right now. He just ran an 11:14, which was his best by, I want to say, 22 hundredths. He's 6 hundredths away. I think he's going to get the first 10 in the platform. But I'm really happy for him. And if he gets it, more power to him. I wouldn't rather have anybody beat the record but him. And he's the guy to beat right now. I'm going to link his channel down below. If you want to go and subscribe to him, feel free. He's got some awesome videos over there. I really want to get him to start doing regular uploads. So show him some love, give him some comments, give him some likes. And if you like this video, give me a sub and a like. And that's kind of how I accidentally got a platform record. I wasn't expecting it, and I didn't expect to take it that much further. But up until Andrew came along, I had 42 hundredths from the next closest guy. And then Andrew ran an 11:36. And he kind of sat there for a little bit, but he's quite frankly the only one who's still running. So he's the guy to beat. So if you guys enjoyed this video, thanks for watching.